It was the beginning of a new chapter for Amma Forsen. Her first day at Kang Group, the job she never expected, and yet the one she needed most. While the others would start with timid greetings or tiptoeing around the office, Amma had no time for that. After months of rejection, dwindling hope, and a visa clock that wouldn't stop ticking, she made a vow to herself that morning in the mirror. No fear, no mistakes, no excuses. I belong here. So instead of waiting at her desk, she headed straight for the top floor to the office of Kang Joon-ho, the CEO's elder sister. She knocked once, stepped in, and asked the question no one had dared to before. Tell me more about your brother. I want to do this job right. Kang Joon-ho was taken aback. Every secretary before Amma had tried to impress her, some with gifts, others with compliments, hoping she would play matchmaker to her powerful brother. But Amma wasn't trying to win anyone over. She didn't flatter, she didn't flirt. She asked questions, she took notes, she listened carefully. Soojin watched her with a quiet smile. There was something different about this girl, something sincere. Downstairs, however, the atmosphere was anything but kind. Whispers filled the common area like wildfire. She's the new one, right? The CEO shook her hand. Not even the top manager got that. The office was divided. 50% were already jealous of Amma. 30% were placing bets on how long Amma would last before the infamous CEO fired her. The last 20% secretly hoping this bold Ghanaian girl might just melt the Ice King's heart. In the middle of it all stood Yura, cheerful, dramatic, and unapologetically loud. She threw her arm around Amma's shoulder with a grin. I like you, Amma. Let me give you the tour. And stay far away from me young in HR unless you want your business on everyone's desk by lunch. Amma laughed genuinely. For the first time in weeks, she felt seen. Meanwhile, across the city, in a grand walk-in closet that could rival a designer showroom, Kang Joon-ho, Seoul's most elusive bachelor, was getting ready for work. His walk-in closet was lined with designer watches, identical shirts, and colognes no one ever touched but him. But this morning, as he tied his cufflinks, his thoughts weren't on numbers or presentations. They were on her, Amma of course. The strange girl who walked into the interview room and called him out on his problem like it was nothing. I'm not here to flirt, I'm here to work. It replayed in his mind like a riddle he couldn't solve. At the office, he arrived expecting the usual, a secretary awkwardly standing by his door, forcing a smile, waiting to impress. But today, silence. There was no Amma. This is strange. He entered his office and looked around. His things untouched. His desk exactly how he left it. And then the coffee. He picked up the cup and eyed it suspiciously. One sip, he paused. A second sip, perfect, balanced, warm, just right. For the first time in weeks, the corner of his lips twitched into something almost like a smile. Maybe this one won't be so easy to fire, he said to himself. Later that morning, he pressed the intercom. Amma Forsen, to my office now. She entered moments later, her folder neatly tucked into one arm. Her voice was clear, calm, and professional as she laid out his schedule, tasks, meetings, not a single detail missed. When she finished, she bowed slightly and turned to leave, but he stood up and began walking toward her. She instinctively took a step back, then another. Calculating, being very careful she didn't want any problems at work on her first day. But he didn't stop. He went ahead and said, tell me, are you sure you haven't been keeping tabs on me? She blinked. Excuse me, sir? The coffee, the desk, everything is perfect. That's no accident. Amma smiled. Well, I used to work in cafes back in college, and CEOs always had a type. They always had something they preferred, and I picked up patterns. She hesitated. Also, I spoke to your sister this morning. I wanted to understand how to do things right. His gaze sharpened slightly. So, you wanted to learn about me? She nodded. He tilted his head, voice quiet but teasing. Are you perhaps interested in me? Amma's mouth fell open. Sir, what? No. She took a step back. Her heel caught on the rag. She stumbled. Her hand reached out to grab something, anything, and found his tie. Before either of them could react, they both went crashing backward onto the sofa. Joon-ho landed on top of her, their faces inches apart. Her wide eyes met his, and for the first time since they met, he couldn't look cold. He looked curious, human, real. Amma could barely breathe. The room fell silent. Time stopped, and in that moment, they both realized that maybe this wasn't going to be just another boss secretary story. Maybe, just maybe, it was the beginning of something neither of them was ready for. Because when Kang Joon-ho finally whispered, Amma, she looked up at him, heart racing, and then... Watch out for episode 3. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting stories. See you next week. Bye.